Hello, Pirates of the Grand Line. I am the One Piece Nerd bringing you the chapter review of 1053. So, this chapter was a banger. Absolute banger. Oda played with our expectations yet again, but lived up to that hype. We got more than what we expected, but I have a few complaints because there will always be complaints. Let's start the chapter with the Gorosei messing up again. Apparently, they messed up. World government messed up when it comes to printing the bounties and the papers. What they wanted was a normal image of Luffy, not Luffy's Gear 5, and they wanted the D initial from Luffy to be removed, which is a little, unsettling or, illogical if you ask me. Now, about the image thing, okay, it makes sense. You don't want people to show Luffy as, being portrayed as Sun God Nika because you don't want people to know about it, that there's a warrior of liberator. People in the world have known myths, and there are definitely, interpretations of the, you know, Sun God Nika and everything, and some people would be aware of it and probably want to overthrow the world government because the warrior of liberator is here. That is too much of an information to be leaked to the outside world. As for the D initial to be removed, I think it serves the same purpose as turning Goldie Roger into Gold Roger. But that made sense because it actually added up. Imagine if it's just Monkey Luffy. That doesn't make sense, number one. Number two, people already know Luffy as Monkey D. Luffy. The whole world already knows that this is this big bad boy, whatever, big bad pirate who got away from Enies Lobby, survived Marineford, escaped Impel Down alive, and also infiltrated Whole Cake Island and also made it out alive. Luffy is already known all throughout the world. Removing the D initial from the name I don't think changes anything. I really don't think it changes anything. I don't know why they were freaked out about it. But okay, it's their world. They do whatever they want. But this is where it contradicts. From the start of the introduction of the Gorosei and the world government, we knew that they were the hierarchy. They were the authority that controls everything in the world. There is no one above them, and what they define as good is good, and what they define as bad is bad. And no one can overrule them or overthrow them in any way, shape, or form. That, however, is wrong. Because we got our big news Morgans. Big boy Morgans is back. With spicy news and with spicy revelations. So, what I like about this part of, Morgan's, personality and, reintroduction again, is that we get to see more of his thinking. Before, we always knew he was this news freak that wanted to, release all these spicy hot topics because he felt like it. This time around, what actually happened, we sort of got a hint that he doesn't really care about the world government. He doesn't work for the world government. He doesn't care what they think. He produces what he wants to. He releases what he thinks the world needs to know. Either it can be exaggerated or the true story. He doesn't want to publish something that is underwhelming. Just like us fans. Just wants to hype things up. So what it means in a story perspective or in a character perspective is that I don't think Morgan is affiliated with either the pirates or the world government. He's just neutral. He's just a neutral who has enough power to fend off the world government to the point where the world government can't actually challenge him, or somehow has some special tricks and links that allows him to do stuff like this. I really liked it. And ever since I would say Wano, the Gorosei have been always shown to lose their calm and to show us that they're messing up, they're starting to mess up. This can turn out to be this, giant rolling ball of blunder after blunder after blunder that actually overthrows the world government in one way or other. It basically shows that they're snowballing out of control. The world is snowballing out of control, the cleansing is not happening, and they will soon lose power if something, severe isn't done. And I really liked it about the chapter. The next part is followed up by bounty reveals. So I'm a little underwhelmed by this. Because, okay, Kid and Law getting a bounty of 3 billion makes sense. from them to be jumping from 500 million and 470 million to 3 billion is a huge jump. They've actually, deserved it. They deserve what they got. They defeated Big Mom Pirates and Law having the Ope and whatever. It makes sense that those two get a bounty of 3 billion. But however, this time, Oda has downplayed our expectations. He didn't upplay, he didn't, beat our expectations or meet it. He just downplayed it because Luffy has a bounty of 3 billion. This is the first time where the fan base wanted Luffy to have a higher bounty than what would normally be expected of him, and Oda again played with our minds and decided not to give us what we want. This time, what we wanted to see from a logical perspective is that we wanted Luffy to have the 5.6 or 4.5, a 3-time or even higher jump than his previous bounty because of him defeating Kaido, because of him liberating Wano, and because of him being Joy Boy. Apparently, the world government thinks that it's too much. What I mean by that is, it seems as though the world government wants to hide the fact that Luffy is Joy Boy and not give too much attention to him. Yes, he's defeated an emperor, that's all he gets. That is all he gets. He doesn't deserve more because this was an alliance between 3 pirates and there wasn't one ringleader who was above everyone else. Which, from a competitive perspective, is fair. Law, Kid, and Luffy are equally strong. They have as much influence as each other. Maybe Luffy has a little bit more, but it makes sense that, they'd be on par with Luffy. As for what happens next, I'm not... Okay, this is happy-go-lucky moments again. We get the festival. I didn't expect the festival to happen, to be honest. Before the chapter came out, I didn't expect Oda to show us the festival. I wanted something to interfere it or something tragic to happen for the festivals to be stopped. But that apparently isn't the case. Everyone is dancing, everyone is singing. I like it. I really like the, happy atmosphere. It's been a long, long time since we got something like this. And I'm not gonna, cry over it. The next part, however, blew my mind off the roof. We were all wondering what the Kokeshi dolls were all about. We wanted some more lore. We wanted to know more about Tenguyama. And apparently some of us in the fan base already figured out that Tenguyama is actually Sukiyaki. I don't know how people figured it out. I think it was because of the anime voice acting and whatever. They figured out that Sukiyaki is Tenguyama. That gave it away very badly. But as a manga reader, not as an anime watcher, it's very surprising. I didn't expect Tenguyama to be Sukiyaki. That just blew my mind off the roof. This was a shocking revelation, and okay, fair. But why was he in hiding? Why won't he show himself? Why didn't he do anything? That's because it was explained very well that he let Orochi get into power, and it's his fault that Oden died, and Orochi got into this mess. Orochi created this whole mess. Kaido came up to power, and he had burdened him. He felt as though he was responsible for everything, which technically he was. But what happens next is totally unexpected. We knew that something was here in Wano that would give us a massive boost as to finding One Piece, or to give some sort of a very big jump of evidence or whatever, information that would take the Straw Hats to Laugh Tale. And apparently, Pluton is in Wano. I mean, what? It was 900 chapters ago in Alabasta when Robin mentioned that Alabasta had poneglyphs about Pluton. Pluton wasn't in Alabasta for sure, but she never once bothered to mention that Pluton is in Wano. She's the only one who knew that Pluton was in Wano. Out of every single, ancient weapons, it's Pluton that's in Wano. I mean, okay, Poseidon is Shirahoshi. We didn't expect Pluton to be discovered so easily. And to just take it somehow. And if Pluton was in Wano, and if Tenguyama knows about it, and Kaido definitely knew there was something special about Wano, why didn't he use Pluton to begin with? Maybe he was planning to use Pluton. He didn't expect the Straw Hats to surpass him. Never, go on par with him, nevertheless beat him. But you'd expect someone like Kaido to prepare something offhand just in case anything went wrong. But apparently Pluton is in Wano, Kaido probably knew about it, and we're about to find out. Finally, it's about time. And I am so excited for this. For the Straw Hats to be getting Pluton right now, basically means that they have a very good upper hand, and Frankie already knows the blueprints of Pluton, which means that it'll be easier to use. The Straw Hats can utilize Pluton very well. That could somehow lead them to a major victory against a very major foe, which is likely to come right after Wano. And immediately in the next part of the chapter, we see Admiral Greenbull. About time we see Admiral Greenbull. His design, though, is very offhanded. From what we've seen of him in Reverie, I didn't expect him to be, this Yakuza boss-like person. He looks a lot like, Aokiji, but, not so polite, if I would say so myself. But it's a very interesting design. I really like his design. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just unexpected. I expected him to be more like Fujitora or Aokiji, calm-minded, has a very good ethic and etiquette and whatever, but apparently he doesn't. And we finally know what happened to the, prisoners of, the Beast Pirates and everyone else. They were apparently in Udon, and now Admiral Greenbull is taking care of them. And we get to see his powers. One of his powers is basically absorbing nutrients from his foes by attacking them with plants. Very unique. Very, very unique. And one of the lines I really love in this entire thing is that he says, "I'd lose my rank if I were to have problems with you Yonko commanders." It just goes to show yet again that admirals are way too stronger than we think they are. The admirals are very strong and we just underestimate them severely. I have a video coming up later in the break talking about the admirals and their powers, but this is just a hint of what they're capable of. And finally, it's time for the Yonko reveals. Yonko are revealed as Shanks, Blackbeard, Luffy, and Buggy. Are you kidding me? Buggy? I mean, it was foreshadowed in Marineford. It was foreshadowed in Volume 25 that Shanks, Buggy, Blackbeard, and Luffy would some point meet or somehow have some relations when we were looking at the cover photo. But I didn't expect Buggy to be Emperor of the Sea. He did something in between that interlude when the warlords were trying to get captured that gave him the position of Yonko. Being a Yonko doesn't necessarily mean you have to be insanely strong. You just need to have an insanely large following and insanely huge links. I have another video coming up about that. I'm setting you guys up for a lot of videos in the upcoming weeks because we got a month-long break. To finish off the chapter, we see Greenbull, to finish off the review, we expect Greenbull to be a lot like Fujitora or Aokiji, that we would expect him to be a little calm-minded, not someone who, cares about the world government, would go against the world government if necessary. Apparently he's not. He's looking for approval from Akainu. He's basically Akainu but on a lower position. He apparently wants Akainu's approval and will bring Straw Hat's head. So he is an enemy. Apparently he's not going to fix Wano. He's not going to help Wano rebuild itself. He's going to take down Luffy. And that just sets up for an entirely different story. What a chapter. What a chapter. I loved it. It was an insanely long review because there was so many things to talk about and I'm not even done. If you guys watched until this point, I appreciate it so much. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And have a good day. Peace.